Hello, my name is Sophia, kitano. I'm from Shoreditch Global High School. Today I first like to defend my point, and then go on to refuting my opponent's points. But before that, I would like to point out that my opponent showed no evidence in her rebuttals, besides one example of Germany, thereby making it most of her assumption. Having said that, I would like to defend the 2 responses from my proposition side. The first point was that the contention one, saying that it was unrealistic to think that refugees will gain access to safe countries because they can't travel so far. However, I can deny this point. This is simply because refugees are already traveling this distance. For example, there are refugees in Germany and Sweden. The only reason they are in places like Lebanon or Jordan is because most rich countries close their borders to refugees, making it impossible for the refugees to enter. If we open borders, world nations will take part in solving the refugee crisis together. Refugees will be treated humanely as they should be and need to be, instead of being forced into nations that are overcrowded and are unable to treat refugees like human beings. Therefore, opening borders is the best answer and solution for the current refugee crisis. The second point was that refugees can't really benefit the economy in a realistic time period, and also that host countries cannot aid refugees enough to the point where the host countries can really gain benefits in the first place. However, first of all, is it really wrong to give refugees the time to settle? Yes, it is true that they might need time to settle, but that's one thing we just need to do morally. It's the least we can do to help them, and I can say that when we are able to make that decision, the right thing to do morally, we will gain a benefit far beyond the cost, because there are both short-term and long-term benefits. The short-term benefit is that the GDP will grow and increase the cash flow and economic activity in all EU countries. The process is, once refugees come to EU nations, refugees and humanitarian organizations will use money and workers. This will increase the cash flow and economic activity. In addition, according to the UNHCR, every $1 spent on humanitarian aid brings back $1.6 economic benefit to the host country. This is a short-term benefit. The long-term benefit is that economic growth. In the EU, 40% of new businesses had shrunk in the last 10 years. EU has a high deflation of euro. If refugees will make new jobs, like in Germany, 1 out of 5 businesses are created by refugees. That will solve the problem of business shrinking. Refugees give government budget surplus, which can solve the problem of the high debt and deflation of euro. This is a long-term benefit. Therefore, refugees do benefit the economy. Next, I would like to rebuttal to my opponent's point. She said basically that refugees are bad for the economy and that they are also being crime and terrorists. On the first point, like I said before in my defense, we can say refugees do benefit the economy. And as for crime and terrorists, it is in fact different. According to the Europe poll, the EU policy organizations, they found that no concrete evidence of terrorists sneaking into Europe pretending to be refugees. Also, there's no connection with refugees and crime. According to the Dutch news, surveys have indicated there is no connection with refugees and impact on crime. In addition, research by NOS 2015 showed that the no rise in crime in areas where large refugee centers have been located. To summarize my points, because 1, refugees benefit the economy, 2, because refugees are safer when borders are open, I strongly propose this motion. Thank you.